And okay, Tracy, aka Office Barbie. She's got this like gorge updo situation, but it's like effortlessly chic with your glasses. I mean, I love it.
Oh, thank you. I'm trying.
Aren't we all? Aren't we all?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
much all the
This
time.
is like what happens when you don't wash your hair. It goes up in a messy bun.
Hey, I feel that on a deep level. I used to have really, really long hair and then I cut it. And now I'm like, why? Like, why did I not do this sooner?
Years. It's
Chop it all
yeah,
off.
so much
Yeah,
easier.
it
Yeah.
is. Okay, first of all, your story is, from what I know of it thus far, just by talking to you only like once and reading your
Yeah.
bio, is intense. And
Yeah.
so I was very excited. I am very excited to have you because I know that there are so many people that can relate to having to be resilient in the face of a lot.
Yeah.
So, first, I want to know, how did you come up with the name Trauma Rock Star?
Well, first of all, I want to say too that first of all, thanks for having me.
Of course.
But second of all, I want to let people know like when you're listening and you're hearing my story because we've all been through trauma. And I just want people that might be listening, don't compare your trauma to what I've been through because
Yeah.
trauma is trauma.
It's so
So
subjective.
and there's so many people that like I've had guests on my on Trauma Rock Stars that their stories are so much worse than mine,
Mm,
and they're such an inspiration. So I want people to look, and you might be going through something that you're like, well, my trauma, I didn't go through what she went through. No, 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 you still gone through trauma. So don't
yeah.
compare to my story.
Yes.
It's your journey and it's your story, and it's legit that you've gone through trauma. So don't do that. But I came up with the name wasn't that difficult actually. But I'll tell you a little. So you may know this, but people that have gone through extreme trauma, they tend to like to live in very busy cities, have very busy lives, move a lot, like
Yeah.
never, blah, I can't even talk. I haven't even started drinking. No, I'm joking. Um,
I have.
oh,
I poured a glass of wine for this
I just got some
conversation because
water. Oh, I
I
didn't know it
knew
was
I
that
would.
kind of a show.
Yeah.
Um, but just never are never settled. So, and they choose careers that can mask their trauma so
Hmm.
they don't have to face it. And that's exactly what I did. I suppressed my trauma for 40 years. So I worked in the music industry
Oh,
um, for
okay.
ye for years, and you couldn't have picked a better industry for me to work in because you can't get more louder than that.
Right.
And I was so busy, I didn't have time to even think about my trauma
Right.
or even deal with it. So it was like the perfect storm for me.
Yeah.
And I don't do that anymore. I got out of that because I
Hmm.
realized I needed, if I wanted to settle down and have somewhat of a normal, stable life, I had to get out of that business, which I have done. But I worked in it for years, and
Yeah.
it was you can't get a busier, louder career than that, to
Literally.
be quite honest.
Yeah.
And honestly, like when I started my healing journey and stuff, which was I'm actually a newbie, like I'm new to my journey because I just
Me
started
too.
really a few years ago.
Hmm.
But when I started and I was really starting to see some significant changes and improvement and aha moments and things like that. I was like, I'm an effing rock star. Like, I
You
can't
are.
believe I am like facing this head on like a badass, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy crap, I'm a rock star. So that's where I came up with Trauma Rock Stars because if you are dealing with anything in your life and you are facing it and just trying your best, just trying to be the best person you can be, the best version of yourself, you're a freaking rock star.
That is so true. I mean, I'm new in my healing journey as well,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
there are days when I'm like, am I a superhero? Like
Hmm.
am I an actual superhero? What is happening? It's
Yes,
incredible
it
because
is.
I was looking through my phone the other day and I was thinking about my children and how they've had to, walk this journey with me. And I've obviously
Yeah,
tried to hide as much as I can, but I also want to model for them that like being sad is okay. It's okay to feel sad and it will go away. It's just an emotion. It's not something to be scared of. But
yeah,
I was
yeah.
deleting stuff in my phone and I saw all these pictures of, me at my best friend's house and us like singing and dancing in her kitchen or
Mhm.
taking my kids to the playground. And I put my phone down and I was like, oh my God, look what you did when you were in the hardest moments of your life. Like you still showed up and you
Yeah,
still provided joy for them, even though you felt like you couldn't feel
right,
any of it. But
right,
so,
right.
yeah, I'm so glad that you have that sense of like pride and warrior spirit.
Well, I think you know, I think a lot of it is like you had said, like I've got superpowers, whether you say you got superpowers, whether you call yourself a rock star, whatever you have to do.
Yep.
You, the best gift you can give the universe and the people in your lives is to give yourself credit
Yeah.
for what you're going through because the world needs the best version of you.
Yeah.
Like everybody's like, oh, but I'm just this little pebble of sand and this huge. No, your energy and the world needs the best version of you. And what you project out there is so important. And you can't do that if you're not healing. But then when
Right.
you start healing, even if it's all it takes is little steps. It's not like it doesn't
Yes.
have to be this huge thing. It's just
Yeah.
little tiny baby steps, right? But once you start doing that, it's so important that you're like, wow, I can't believe like I did that today. Or you get triggered. Like I think we're always going to be healing. It's
Oh,
never
a
like
thousand
I will
percent.
never say I'm healed,
No.
you know, because it's always a journey and I'm always
Yeah.
trying to evolve. And I can go a little bit deeper into that because I've kind of turned into it like a psycho about like getting into my subconscious super deep and everything
Yes.
now. But but I mean you have to be your biggest cheerleader
You do.
because it's so important and that's like you said even with your kids like you're teaching your kids like they need to be their biggest cheerleaders.
Yeah.
They're seeing their mom do it. So
Right.
those are invaluable lessons that
Yeah.
to teach and your loved ones and things like
Yeah.
that. So
What's modeling. And so that's what we're doing right now too, is that
totally.
telling your story is
Yeah.
really powerful and someone listening today is going to feel seen and loved and heard and that is more powerful than anything I can even think of.
Yeah, and if I can do it, you can do it. Trust
Right.
me, because I literally suppressed everything for 40 years. Don't learn from my mistakes, you guys. Don't be like me.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
not wait. Please don't wait 40 freaking years. Like
Yeah.
you can't afford that. And I know they say like looking back is for time travelers, which that's a whole nother conversation. I'm
Oh,
kind of
I'm all about
fascinated
the
with
time
that
travel.
too. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, it's really, now that I'm kind of on the other side of it, it's such a beautiful journey. And the whole like world has opened up these opportunities for me that never would have come if
Yeah.
I hadn't had just released it.
Yeah. So you have two like very
Yeah.
big pivotal moments. The
Yes.
first is the car accident, and I
Yes.
actually alluded in the introduction to another, but I didn't tell the audience like what that second trauma was.
Mm,
And so I think that one is the one that's important to talk about because that
yeah,
feels like the one that got shoved down
it is.
the most.
It is. So my accident it was a very high profile accident. I was the only survivor. And when that happened in the state I was living in with my family, because I was 12 years old, I believe still to this day, it's the third biggest accident in the history of the state. So
Wow.
it was all over the news. And every year on the anniversary, the news
Mm,
would air it again. And both my cousins didn't make it.
yeah.
And so not that obviously can't be suppressed because everybody knew about it. But what I was suppressing with that was survivor's guilt
Oh,
that
yeah.
I didn't even realize until I started my healing journey that I had all this survivor's guilt. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And then what happened so that was when I was 12. So fast forward 3 years when I was
Yep.
15, high school, and I'm still going through recovery,
Yeah.
surgeries, and everything, but I was trying to live somewhat of a normal high school adolescent life that I could. I went to a high school party with friends, which you never know who's going to show up there
Yep.
and what's going to happen. And I was drugged and gang raped. So, yeah, yeah. So when that happened, I was 3 years past my accident.
Ugh.
And I also, just to, give you another layer, I went to a very high profile high school.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that if I had said something, called the
Mm-hmm.
police, told my
Mm-hmm.
parents, whatever, the police were definitely going to be involved. It was going to be all over the news because it was a very high profile high school. And I had already dealt with so much of that with my
Right.
accident. And I knew my parents would probably pull me out of school. I'm like, where
Mm.
would I go? You're 15. That's your whole
Right.
world. Like,
Yeah.
what? And so I didn't tell a soul. I never told a soul about it. And
Oh.
to this day, like I don't like harbor any ill will toward it because now that I've dealt with all of it and everything. But it was just like adding, another layer to what I
Yeah.
had already gone through. And for me, a lot of it was shame,
Of course.
fear,
Yep.
embarrassment, um, the unknown, the not knowing, and things like that. And I know that in the state I was in, statute of limitation has already run
Yep.
out. So
Yeah.
there's nothing I could do about it. And I don't necessarily know. I have an idea of who was involved,
Mm.
but I don't know for sure because I was drugged.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, the idea of the people I think that were involved or may know what happened, they have families now. I'm not going to
They have to
destroy.
live with that.
They have to live with it. I'm not going to destroy their children's lives, their
Yeah.
partners' lives. They've got their own karma to bear.
Yes, they do.
And so, not that I wish harm on anyone, but you know
No,
what
of
I
course
mean. But
not.
the universe takes care of everything on its own. So I don't think I would do anything anyway at this point because I wouldn't want to be destroying these other innocent people that are involved in their lives, and do that.
Yeah. But also, oh, hold on first.
Yeah.
I know you hear this and I mean this, but I'm so sorry. I'm
Hmm.
so sorry that happened. You did not deserve that in
No,
any way, shape, or form. There's nothing
no.
you could have done to prevent, anticipate, nothing. And
Right.
so I'm glad that you have like let that go and put that
Hmm.
shame down. Here's the reality that we both know.
Yep.
There's a lot of women listening right now who that exact same thing has happened to, or
Yes.
something similar, like, for lack of better language right now, also me too. Like
Yep.
when I was 12, a family friend molested me, and then his wife ended up coming to our home, my house with my parents, and saying he was drunk. He didn't know what he was doing. And like no charges were pressed, like nothing. And so I remember thinking, I'm not worthy of protection.
Hmm.
And that if someone is drunk, they're allowed to do whatever they want. And that person is still at large. Like they still walk the earth,
Yeah.
they still do whatever they want, and they have to live with that
Yeah.
intense amount of guilt.
Yes.
And speaking of time travel, when I was in my mid 20s, you will freaking love this. And then we can elaborate on how to heal
Yeah.
something like that. So when I was in my mid 20s, I was dating a guy who cheated on me like Tiger Woods level, just with like every living creature in the
Anything that
city of
moved.
Atlanta. And when I went to therapy, I presented like a rape victim.
Hmm.
Like my therapist was like, you have all of the, you
Yeah.
know, you're presenting like a rape victim would. And it really took me back to that moment. And one day I was just like, you know what? I got to go back there. I got to go back there. I'm not going to relive that day and the pain that was given, but I am going to go tell myself in that night, in that moment, that I'm going to be okay
Hmm.
and that I didn't deserve it. And that, so I literally like meditated, laid there, and I didn't relive the trauma. I just went back and held my 12-year-old self
My God, yes.
and I cried and said, I'm so
Yes.
sorry. Like you didn't deserve this and you're going to be
Yeah.
all right. And just that, just the love I gave myself in that
Yes.
moment was so transformative that anytime now I need to process
Yes.
trauma, pain, whatever, I actually have my 60-year-old self show up and comfort me now.
Yeah.
Like I have her in my mind where she's like, hey,
Hmm.
listen, things are going to, and she's very bubbly, very happy. So I'm very
Of course she is.
excited
Of
because
course she
she's
is.
like, you've got this and
Yeah.
everything's going to be okay.
Yeah.
So there's something so powerful about being your own cheerleader, your
Yes.
own support. So, how did this for you? Like, obviously, you suppressed it for a long time, but when you did start healing, how did that journey start for you?
Well, you're going to laugh, but it started with meditation and doing inner
Oh,
child work.
see? See?
It's
Yeah.
so I started about 2020, about
Mm-hmm.
2020. I was actually engaged and COVID hit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I've always been fascinated with meditation
Yeah.
and things like that. So I just started meditating. I started doing guided meditations.
Mm-hmm.
That anyone, you can get it on YouTube. There's amazing
Oh,
guided,
yeah.
free guided meditations on YouTube. And I started learning about inner child work. And so I really started, that was like my focus with,
Mm-hmm.
inner child work and going back to that. Like my stuff happened at 12, but I went back to like when I was 6,
Yeah.
even then. And I just really started, like you said, I became my own guardian angel.
Yeah.
And so when I started, and you guys that are listening, if you don't meditate or you haven't meditated, it's called a practice for a reason
Yes.
because it's
Absolutely.
very frustrating. It's very, very frustrating, but you have great sets and terrible ones. But when I started really focusing on that, and I was like, gosh, this makes sense. I really need to go back there. I got a download of information. It was
Mm-hmm.
insane. And I was like, I'm a mess. Like, I am an absolute mess. I just realized like I had never dealt with anything. I
Mm.
had been like living this crazy life and making all these bad choices and having all these bad people in my life and partners and all this stuff, and nothing made sense. And I'm like, I'm better than this. What is going on? And I just realized that it was all because I hadn't really dealt with much. And
Yeah.
I think about I had this one particular person in my life, still in my life, but a relationship. And back then, like if I knew then what I knew now, if I had just been vulnerable and opened up, things would have been very different with that relationship, but I
Mm.
just wasn't. And so that's what really started it was the meditation.
Yeah.
And then I learned about my higher power, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, what the hell's my higher power? Well, guess what? She started coming to me in my meditations, and my higher power is me,
Yeah.
but it's just me, superpower me, right? Like
Yeah.
you were saying.
Yeah.
So she started coming to me in my meditation. So I would have like my inner child and my higher power, and all these different messages would start coming. So it slowly started that, and I just really, you have to almost, I guess I was really hard on myself because I really wanted to figure out what was going on and dig deep. So you have to be willing to do that. And it's super
Yeah.
scary to do that. And it's not for the faint at heart, but
Right.
if you're trying to deal with suppressed trauma, you've already been through the worst of it. What's going
Right.
to happen next is just getting you through that door.
Right.
So I was on, to make a long story short, I was on vacation early last year, and I had heard about this incredible book, and I didn't know anything about it, but a New York Times bestseller book. So I bought this book to read while I was on vacation, and not realizing that the author, it was about, she had gotten sexually assaulted
Mm-hmm.
by a teacher that she had trusted, and this went on for years. He was very
Mm.
manipulative.
Yeah.
And this went on for years, and she had suppressed it. She didn't even remember it.
Yeah.
And she couldn't figure out, like, she just knew something was off, something, she wasn't herself, something wasn't right. And her husband had learned about MDMA therapy.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with
Yes.
MDMA?
Yes.
Okay. Well, when I read, first of all, when I first started reading this book, I was like, okay,
But
there's
wait,
no.
let's tell any listeners that don't know what it is. What is MDMA?
Okay. So MDMA, it's basically it's done through a provider, and it's a micro dose of what the key ingredient of ecstasy is.
Is it the psilocybin?
No, that's mushrooms.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Clearly I
mushrooms.
know.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's the that's
Oh,
another
now I'm clicking. Okay, MDMA.
yeah,
Got it.
that's an
Yep. Yeah.
and the psilocybin's another modality.
Yeah.
But the MDMA, what it does is it really gives you the opportunity to dig deep into your subconscious. So when I was reading about this, you could have seriously, Melissa, knocked me over. I literally, there was something in every being in my body saying, this is what I need to do.
Mm.
This is what I need. This is what's going to give me the answer. You know how when you just know, kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yes.
I literally, not knowing what this book is about, all this stuff, I literally, and I'm on vacation, this beautiful Caribbean island. My entire body starts shaking, like
Wow.
profusely, like I was having convulsion. It was like this message.
Yep.
And my boyfriend was like, "What is wrong with you?" Like I couldn't even leave the house. Like I was
Mm.
completely, it just took the wind out of my sails. I was like,
Yeah.
I've got to do this. So me being the person that I am, go down this rabbit hole, and I start researching MDMA, and everywhere. Like I was, because I'm like, if I'm going to look into something like this, I need to know everything about it, what it's
Yep.
going to do to my body, this and that. So I did. And I found a therapy center by me that does it.
Wow.
I don't know how, like, this all just fell into place.
Yeah.
So I started working with them, and it's run by a psychiatrist. And there was a ton of information, like my intake forms. It took weeks. And
Yeah.
you need to qualify. They're not just going to be like, "Oh, you want MDMA? No
Here,
problem.
here you go.
Come
Yeah.
over." It's not like that. Like
Right.
you have to, like she has to make a decision if I'm even the right candidate for
Right.
this.
Yeah.
And so she paired me with one of her therapists, and she knew exactly, like, it was just a gift. Like, she paired me with Allie, and I've actually had Allie on the show. We've talked about this quite a
Oh, I
bit.
love that.
Yeah, it's a great episode. We talk really deep about it, but I built a rapport with her, and that's the biggest thing. Like, no matter what modality you're looking to do, it's very important that it's guided by somebody who's qualified,
Yes. Yes.
that is certified to do it, and that you trust, because
Yeah.
it's very, very, it could re-trigger you. You want to be with
Right.
somebody you trust, right?
Right.
So I just want to do a little plug. The book, I just in case people were wondering, is called The Tell by
Love.
Amy Griffin. It changed my life. And one of these days I'm going to meet this woman and give her the biggest hug of her life, because she
Oh.
completely changed my life. But
Amy, we're talking to you.
Amy, I know. But like honestly, when I started building this rapport with Allie, my therapist and stuff, were like, yeah, you need to do this. And at that point, because when I had my accident, I had such a bad head injury, I don't remember any of it.
Yeah.
So I didn't know like what was if that was going to come back, like if I was going to remember the accident and what
Oh,
happened
yeah.
because my both my cousins died. So I didn't know what was going to surface, but I'm like, you
Mm,
know what? Like I can handle it
yeah.
because now that I went through it, my MDMA session was like 4 hours long. It was
Wow.
very long. And now that I've gone through it and I went in with intentions and I knew that I could handle whatever was to surface, the your mind is going to give you what you need. You can't like cherry pick. Like I only want to see this or I only want to see that or I don't want to see this or I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
But what it does is it gives you the information you need, but it gives it to you through this lens of like love and support and it's like
Hmm.
a big warm blanket. So, whatever thing that may pop up that's scary, you're looking at it differently. It's not with fear.
Yeah. That's really
So, it's
powerful.
almost like from the outside looking in.
Hmm.
It to say it changed my life, what is an understatement? It was such a gift. Like I saw so much
Yeah.
and it was amazing. And Allie, I recorded the whole thing. I still have not watched the whole
Oh,
thing, but I recorded
wow.
the whole 4 hours. Like I have it on video. But she just guided me through it. And if I would get nervous or something would happen, she's like, let's stay focused. She just kept me on track or
Hmm.
because I was kind of all over the place. I
Of
was shooting
course.
off information and she
Yeah.
would be writing things down. And she's like, all right, let's stay on course because she has a lot of experience with this. She was just amazing. And so it was just an unbelievable journey. And
Yeah.
the one thing, because I look back at my life and all the bad choices I made, and even like working in the music industry, it was a man's world. I worked in a
Oh,
man's
yeah.
world. I was a production manager, and
Yeah.
usually that's men that do
Mm,
that. So I was surrounded by men and roadies and stagehands and I put up with so much crap
yeah.
that I didn't need to. And not just with my job, just in life. Like I
Yeah.
just put up with crap from people. And I look back at it now and I understand why
Yeah.
I did because I didn't know who the hell I was. I
Yep.
didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know anything. I didn't have self-worth,
Well, it's,
all of it.
yeah. I mean, same for so long.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think what happens is somewhere along the way, it's people like us, trauma survivors, like you learn that if I try to keep other people happy, peaceful, regulated, they won't turn on me and then I am safe.
Hmm.
The problem is that that is literally self-abandonment. If
Right.
you're reaching out to someone else to try to calm their nervous system, you're ignoring your own. So, like, let me tell this because you'll like this. This is a good example. In my own neighborhood, like a lot of the women in this neighborhood that were my air quote friends,
Hmm.
um, they left me for dead. Like
I
when
was
all
gonna
this stuff
I was
started
gonna bring
happening with
this up.
me.
Yep, yep.
And in the beginning, it made me feel so bad, right? Like,
Hmm.
how could they do that? What did I do wrong? Like, I must have deserved that kind of treatment. Obviously, they're also doing it to my children. And then this week, literally this week, it was like just an epiphany where I was like, you know what? That's disgusting.
Yeah.
No one deserves that ever. And I just saw one of them like pass me in the neighborhood and give
Mhm.
me the dirtiest look. And here's like all I thought, why don't you go boo a sunset? Boo a sunset. Like be
Yeah,
miserable. If that's how you want to live your life
yeah,
and you want to make me a villain in the story where all I was doing was trying to survive, then
yeah,
go ahead. Go
yeah.
ahead. Whatever makes you sleep better at night. Yeah.
Totally. And I was going to bring this up. The one thing I learned going through the MDMA journey is I actually had to learn I had to learn to forgive myself. It wasn't
Yes.
anybody else.
Yeah.
I had to learn to forgive myself because I just kept saying, because you remember, like when you're going through MDMA, you're aware of everything, your surroundings and what's going on. So it's not like, because people are like, I
You're not
don't
like
want to feel like,
hypnotized. Yeah.
yeah. Well, even that, I just did that a month ago.
Oh, okay.
We can talk
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh, that was incredible. But what it does, it's like, because people are like, I don't want to lose control. I don't want to feel like, and you're not, because it's a microdose. Like you're
Yeah.
completely there. You know what's happening. Um,
You just feel
but
safer.
totally. And I just had to learn to forgive myself. And I'm like, I've wasted so much time. I've wasted so much time putting up with crap, having the wrong
Hmm.
people in my life, friendships, everything. And so I had to forgive myself there. And then what happened was when you start healing, what it does is it raises
Vibration.
your vibration and your energy level,
Yep.
right? So either you you really need to do an audit of your life and the people that are in your
Hmm.
life. And I'm
Yeah.
actually going to do a little spiel about this because I think this is really important that people understand this. Um, Trust me, what's going to happen is what you need.
Yeah.
So people are either going to fall off naturally
Hmm.
or you're going to distance yourself
Yeah.
and you can tell people I'm going through some things right now. It's not personal, but please, if I'm absent, if I'm quiet, don't take it personally. People are just going to fall off naturally.
Yeah.
But what it does, as you will know, it opens up this whole new world you didn't even know was out there for these incredible people to fall into your
Yes.
life
Oh,
that are at the same
absolutely.
level same energy and
Yep.
vibration level as you,
So
right?
true.
Like you and I, like we never would
Yes.
have met, you know?
Right.
And so it is so it's incredible, like the doors it opens.
Yeah. No, you're so right.
And
And
it's
that is,
something to be excited
it
about.
is. It is. And I was talking to someone this morning and same, similar situations like leaving
Yeah,
toxic dynamics and feeling isolated. And I said, you know what I had to say to myself, girl? I had to say, I'm so sorry that I didn't love you.
yeah,
I'm sorry I didn't love you. And I do. And I will never leave you behind ever again. And I
yeah.
will always respect you and make sure that you're only around people that respect you too. So,
Right,
so
right.
now
And
it like releases any sort of
yeah.
shame, guilt feeling that I allowed myself to feel based on other
Mhm.
people's behavior.
Yeah. And
Not anymore.
people that act like that, it's not that, and I don't want it to come across as conceited because it's not that when this happens, when you start this healing journey and this vibration raises, it's not that you're better than anybody else.
No.
It's not that at all. It's just you're opening up your world for almost like a different universe to come
Yeah.
into your life and hurt people.
Yeah.
So,
But you and I are hurt people, and our job and what we want to do is go
yeah,
out into the world and heal other people, or at least
yes,
help them see that they are not alone. So, not all
yes.
hurt people, but there are hurt
True.
people in this world that are so hurt and hate themselves so much
Mhm.
that they can't even fathom showing kindness and love
Yeah.
to others in real ways.
And
Like,
not judging.
oh, yeah,
I
no.
think it's, now I look at people like that and I don't say anything. I'm just like, okay, and I just say to myself, they have a lot of inner work to do. They really need to
Yes.
work
Yeah.
within. And I
Bless
wish
their
them the
hearts. That's
best.
what we say
Bless
in
their
Georgia.
hearts.
We say, bless their
Bless.
hearts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
And it's just like, and then you move on with your life
Yeah,
because then some more incredible people are going to fall into your life.
exactly.
And so I think I want people to that are scared because we don't address our issues and stuff because of fear
Yeah,
and shame and whatever else title you want to put, hairy title you want to put on it, but once you do address these things, like I want you to be excited about what is in front of you and what's
yeah,
on the other side because it is incredible. It's
yeah,
incredible what's out there. And like I was saying earlier, we're always healing. I still get triggered.
Of
I got
course.
triggered the other day, but that to me, now I look at that trigger that it's a lesson. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's all about our nervous system. So
Yes.
when you get triggered or if you want to do an audit in your life, because I know you mentioned this and your, if you want to do something like that, look at that and think of a specific situation or a specific person and really think about what that does to your body. Like
Yep.
listen to the cues your body's given you, write it down, and really look at that because that's going to tell you so much.
Yeah. Absolutely. We
You don't
actually
even need to
did.
have a conversation.
Yeah. And sometimes you don't, right?
Yeah.
That you just need to look at that and be like, there is no explanation required on my part. That does
No.
something mess up to my body. No, thank you. Like we had a whole episode actually called Friendship Audit. So when you said audit, I was like, we are aligned. We are aligned.
Oh my
But one of the
gosh.
things that we talk about is like if you're leaving an interaction with a person and you feel worse than when you
Yeah.
started, that is not someone you need. Or the life is too damn short. And what I
Yeah.
mean by that is like, geez, Louise, women, we are constantly absorbing so much
Hmm.
external pressure, external
Yeah.
expectations. So if there's someone in your inner circle that makes you feel bad, drop them like a bad habit
Yes.
because you do not have time for that. You don't.
And we're hard enough on ourselves. We don't
Exactly.
need other people in our lives to make us
No.
feel even worse or question what we're doing or make us feel guilty
No, thank
or
you.
there's no room for that. There's
No,
no room for that nonsense,
there's not. Okay, we have like 2 minutes left.
Okay.
So, Tracy, what does thriving look like in your life today?
I think just showing up every day with the intention to be better than I was yesterday.
Yeah.
And I'm in the process of reading a couple really powerful books, but it's not even about the future. It's about now. And I'm reading The Power of Now is one of the books I'm reading. And it's so important. Like you want to set future goals. And I look at it like this is the life I want. I'm going to create the life I want. And this is exactly what it looks like. I tell the universe, like, this is exactly what my
Yeah.
future life is going to look like, down to the house I'm living in,
Yep.
what it looks like inside, the clothes I'm wearing,
The
everything.
gorgeous updo with the glasses,
Every
and we're
well,
giving work Barbie.
I
Yes.
didn't even brush my hair today, by the way. But yeah, so I'm anything that doesn't align with that or lead me to that, I say no to.
Yeah.
Everything's a no. And I have no problem saying no because it's about me and I don't care whose feelings I hurt
Yeah.
because I'm
Because a
beyond
lot of people
that.
didn't care about yours for a long time.
No, and I don't care,
So
it's
yeah.
about my journey now. So,
Right.
so empower yourself to be that guardian angel that you need. Like you don't
Mm-hmm.
need other people to love you. You don't need other people to tell you that you're awesome, that you're a badass. You bring that out in yourself because when you
Yeah.
bring that out in yourself, that's going to reflect on other people
Yes.
and they're
So
going to
true.
feel the same way about you.
Yeah.
So put yourself out there, be vulnerable, find a community like this. Like you can always reach out to me.
Yes,
I'm
and
on
actually,
all
I'll give a
socials.
quick plug is for Podmatch. So anybody that's interested in being a guest on a podcast or you have your own podcast, Podmatch is like a Tinder for podcasters.
It
It's
is.
so cool,
It
and I
is.
would never have met Tracy without it, and I'm
No.
so grateful.
Yeah, totally. So, and just figure out, I guess the best step, figure out the life you want. You can make it happen just by your energy and what that, be very specific with what you want, and then say no to anything else that doesn't align with that.
Yeah,
And you can do it. I promise
yeah,
you. And it's so worth it. And this, you should have hope, like have so much hope in you now. Because look
yes,
at what you and I are doing.
I
And
know.
and I'm very accessible. Like people can reach out to me directly through all the
Yeah,
socials. And I